Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Welcome back to our speaking for presentation class. And today we are going to continue our activity. As you probably know, since our faculty has announced new instruction that we cannot hold our meeting offline due to the increasing case of corona infection, so that we move our classroom, yeah, from the actual classroom to this video learning. But I hope that even though the mode of learning is change, it does not, you know, decrease our motivation to improve our speaking ability, especially in presenting material or in presentation. Right. I'd like to invite you, before we move on, or before we start talking about our today's topic, I'd like to remind you about what we have done in the previous meeting. We talk a lot about signposting, right? Signposting is used when we deliver our main part of presentation, because by doing signposting, our audience will find it easy to follow our explanation in our presentation. And without the signposting, they might be confused to what is it? They might be confused and they might not be able to follow our explanation, because usually in our main parts we're gonna divide our main points into several points, and by giving the signposting, we tell them that we are still talking about the point number one, or we have moved to point number two with that signposting. And in doing signposting, there are one, two, three, four, five, let's say five stages or five things to do. Yeah. The first one is saying what is coming, right? And we have got the example here, like by saying this. Yeah. In this part of my presentation, I like to tell you about, right? So this one, okay, let's underscore this one first. The way to pronounce it is not presentation, yeah. It should be presentation because it's noun, right? Okay. And wait. Right, and we also can use another example or another way to say what is coming by, okay, it's number two. Yes, let's go back to number two by saying this. For example, after we have done our introduction, we can say now, okay, or so. Let's move on to the next point and take a closer look at what, yeah. If your presentation is about the traffic support center, so you can talk about traffic support center. If your presentation is about, for example, maintaining your body weight, so change this to maintaining your body weight, for example, by saying, right, let's move on to the next point and take a closer look at maintaining your body weight, for example, something like that. Yeah. And second one, okay, I think okay, before that, I think it's really important and necessary to do saying what is coming, especially when you have come to your main part, because this is a clear indication that there's something important is coming. And then for the second one, okay, we do this like moving to the next point. So when we are explaining in one of our slide, which is part of our main presentation, I believe that it must consist of several points. Yeah, several points, like you have, for example, one specific part, and then in that part there are 3 points that you want to explain, right? So therefore, when you have done explaining one point, then maybe you want to continue your explanation to the second point, or you want to go on to the third point because you have done for your second point. So that transitions, yeah, can be accommodated by using this expression. This leads directly to the next part of my talk, for example. So you are still talking about specific, what is it? one specific slide, for example, or one specific topic, part of your presentation, but within that topic there are some points and you want to move, so you can use this. Or you can use number 3, like this one, yeah. As I said earlier, okay, so it's like you have explained about point number 1, and then you want to move to point number 2, and you can do it by saying as I said earlier, right? And number 4, as well as using number 4, 5. I think just let's make it faster because we have talked a lot about this in the previous meeting, right? And you can also use indicating the end of section, right? So when you have explaining about when you have explained about one slide which contains several points, and then that point is successfully explained, so you want to tell them, or you want to tell your audience that one point is done or finished, and you can do that by giving this, okay, indicating the end of a section by saying this brings me to the end of my second point, or number 6, right? Okay, this now leads us to my next point, almost the same, but it's on the last part, right? Or maybe for this one, number 7, yeah. So much for collecting data like we talked before. All right, and you also can use referring back way, right? By saying, as I mentioned before, almost the same, yeah. Or number 8, yeah. As number 8, let's move a bit down. Let's now turn to the next issue. It means you have done explaining about the previous issue, which appear before this next issue, right? And the last one, don't forget that you have to summarize points so that our audience will be easy to will find it easy to remember and get the main point of that particular part of your presentation, right? Okay. Right. For this part, yeah, let's do this exercise because it has a relation to what we are going to talk today, right? What it wants is to complete the sentences with words from the box. Okay, so we have box here with some words, right? Important words in our presentation. Okay, now let's just try to pick the correct one and put it on the blank spot here, yeah? Okay, number 1. Let me now summarize the what's the next one, right? Is it back, cover, discussing? I think what we need here is main points, yeah. So I'm going to put main point here, right? Main points. Okay. And for second one, we will be blank our sales target today. We will be what? Yeah. Back, covered, discussing, right? Or wanted. Yeah, I think discussing. Yeah, we will be discussing our sales target today, right? Discussing. Number 3. In my talk, I'll blah 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 you about new marketing techniques. In my talk, I'll what? Okay. I think it must be inform. Yeah. In my talk, I'll inform you about new marketing techniques. Good. And number 4, yeah. Before I move on, let me just what? Before I move on, let me just what I've said so far. Yeah. I think it's sum up, yeah. Let's sum up. Yeah. Okay. Number 5. I think we have blah 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 everything for today. We have what? Yeah, it should be covered. Yeah. I think we have covered everything for today. Saya fikir saya telah have covered ini kayak membahas semuanya ya untuk hari ini. Okay? Number 6. Okay, that's all I blah 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 or blank to say about time management. Iya, apa kira-kira? Exactly. That's all I wanted to say. Yes, wanted to say. about time management. Number 7, this blank directly to my second point. Apa nih? This leads directly to my second point. Iya, leads ya. And number 8, let's go blah 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 to what I said at the beginning of my presentation. Let's go. Iya, let's go back. Yeah. Okay, so these 8 sentences, yeah, are the examples of using signposting. Yeah. For example, this one. Let me now summarize the main point. This is summarizing. When you have explaining one particular part of your presentations, and then you want to summarize it, so you use this. Okay. And we will be discussing our sales target today. So this is the beginning, right? The beginning part before you explain about your main, main part of your presentation. Or this one, in my talk I'll inform, it's similar, right? And this one is like a transition. Before I move on, let's just sum up. Oh no, I mean, this is a summary as well, yeah? Because there is a sum up. Sebelum saya lanjut, izinkan saya untuk sum up, ya, merangkum what I've said so far, gitu ya. Ini I think we have covered ini everything for today. Ini juga ending part of your presentation. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Ini juga ending part, sama ya. Number 7, this leads direct to my second point, transition. Okay, so when you have one particular slide, in that slide there are 3 points, and you have successfully explained the first point and you want to move the second point, you can use this. Yeah, this leads directly to my second point. Or number 8, let's go back to what I've said. This is also a summary. Okay, good. Nah, if you don't know the meaning, you have to find it by your own self. You can use online dictionary, yeah, and you can find that. Don't forget to also practice the way to pronounce it. Okay, right. Number 8. Write the sentences using expressions with as and the informations in the notes. Add missing words where necessary. Okay. Nah, jadi kita diminta untuk menggunakan expressions with as. Ya, ini sangat penting sekali in doing presentation because this is one feature that will accommodate our way in explaining our presentation. Oke, kita lihat contoh nomor 1 ya. Ini ada unfinished sentence, and we are asked to to make this unfinished sentence be a complete and good sentence. For example, yeah, we no budget for new software this year. I mentioned this before. Diminta untuk memasukkan kata as ini tadi ya. Alright. As I mentioned before, jadi dibuat gini. As I mentioned before, we have no budget for new software this year. Yeah. As I mentioned before. As di sini artinya apa? Ya, kalau di dalam bahasa Indonesia, ini ya. As I mentioned before, sebagaimana saya jelaskan sebelumnya, atau saya telah jelaskan sebelumnya. Jadi as ini artinya bisa kita sebutkan sebagai sebagaimana. Okay? Okay, good. Number 2. Tony Dale, ya, new marketing manager, Prince Media. Okay. You all know this already. Gimana nih caranya nih? Tinggal tambah S aja ya. As you all know this already. Okay, kita buat ya. As you all know this already. Okay ya. Koma. Tony Dale. Yeah. Okay, why it's not working? Okay, wait. Okay, sorry. Okay. Alright, so it takes time, yeah, when the transition is from the capital words to normal words. Okay, let's just use the normal one. Tony Dale, yeah, is apa? kira-kira? Iya, is our new marketing manager, right? Apa nih? It can be in or. Yeah. Alright. Or for print media. Print media. So this is like, as you all know this already, Tony Dale is our new marketing manager for print media. Okay. Sebagaimana yang kalian semua sekarang ya telah ketahui kira-kira gitu kan. Oke. As you all, ini bukan now tapi no ya. Oke. Sebagaimana kalian semua ketahui sudah, atau dalam bahasa Indonesia sebagaimana yang telah kalian ketahui, sudah ketahui gitu ya. Oke. Or number 3. Alright, just put the S first ya. I said this at the beginning of my talk. Jadi kita bisa buat begini. As alright. As I said this at the beginning of my talk. Okay. Comma. Terus apa lagi nih? Can operate from local airport because no permission. Okay. Mungkin bisa kita buat we can't, kalau British can't ya. We can't operate ya from the local airport because we have no permission. Bisa ya. Okay. As I said this at the beginning of my talk. Sebagaimana saya katakan ini di awal dari presentasi saya. Jadi my talk ini bukan perkataan saya ya, tapi lebih kepada merujuk presentasi kita. Ya. We can't operate from the local airport because we have no permission. Kita tidak bisa beroperasi dari bandara lokal karena kita tidak punya izin. Right? Number 4. I explained this 10 minutes ago. Okay. As I mentioned this 10 minutes ago. Okay. Apa nih? Choose between 2 points. Apa ya? Say we have atau you have bisa juga. To choose. Yeah. Between the 2 option misalnya. Saya sebagaimana saya jelaskan tentang hal ini 10 menit yang lalu, kita harus memilih di antara 2 pilihan itu. Ya. Atau nomor 5 bisa kita buat. You can see this on the slide. Oke, kita gunakan apa nih? Ya. As you can see this on the slide. Bisa juga ya. Oke. As you can see this on this on the slide. Atau boleh juga diganti screen, if you use screen sama aja ya. Sales have increased. Apa misalnya? The sales ya, penjualan ya, have increased ya, for 10%, untuk 9% since the beginning ya, of the year. Sejak awal dari tahun ini misalnya ya. Oke, atau tahun yang disebutkan di situ. Jadi, penggunaan as is really important because kita bisa seperti bahasa Indonesia, ya kan? Sebagaimana saya jelaskan sebelumnya, sebagaimana telah saya sampaikan, kalau bahasa Indonesia gitu kan. Ini dia, as I pointed out in the first section, as I mentioned before, as I already said, ya kan? Dan dia selalu ingat untuk tensesnya ya, selalu past bentuknya, past kebanyakan past ya. Kalau yang as you can see on the screen bisa juga sih, presentation ini berarti present kan, sebagaimana yang Anda lihat. Kalau sebagaimana telah saya sebelumnya berarti dia harus past gitu loh. As I said this at the beginning, sebagaimana saya katakan di awal berarti kan past, said ya. As you all know, no ya, this already, ini pakai present. Oke? Jadi tergantung apa yang ingin disampaikan. Kalau menyampaikan sesuatu yang di lampau pakai bentuknya past. Right. Oke ya? Good. Let's continue our activity. Okay. Right. Exercise 9, yeah. A manager is updating her group on some problems they've been having with one of the company's product lines. Listen to this excerpt from her informal presentation and say whether the following sentences are true or false. Correct the false sentence. Jadi kita diminta untuk mendengar, ini ada rekamannya, ya. Ini dipastikan benar atau salah. Oke. Silakan, ini ada kan rekamannya sudah ada. You can do this by your own self individually, right? Okay. Nah, let's just do this activity to be honest. Ini yang lebih penting sebenarnya. Complete these sentences from the presentation with the correct form of verbs from the box, then listen again. Oke, kita disuruh complete ini dulu ya. Oke, silakan saya beri waktu jika ingin mengkomplitnya. You can also pause this video ya. Masukkan these words ya. Each of them into each of these blanks ya, from each bubble. Nah, ini ada bubble. Oke. Right, sudah? Oke, kita putar ya. Oke. Let's check the answer.
Unit 2, Exercise 9.
Thanks, Jim. Okay, as you probably know, we are currently having difficulties with our new men's cosmetics line.
Oke, jelas ya. Apa dibilang tadi?
Okay, as you probably know, we are currently having
Yeah, as you probably know, we are katanya. We are currently having. Yeah. As you probably know, we are currently having difficulties in our new men's cosmetic line. Ya, sebagaimana yang kalian ketahui, kita sekarang memiliki permasalahan, kesulitan ya dengan apa nih? Jalur distribusi line ini ya, cosmetic men's ya, kosmetik untuk laki-laki yang baru. Jadi kosmetik ternyata bukan cuma untuk cewek ya, tapi laki-laki juga. Mungkin berbeda ya, kalau perempuan make up dan segala macam, laki-laki ya adalah kayak bikin minyak rambut seperti itu kan, atau pembersih wajah, something like that ya. Oke, jadi jawabannya dia we are. Tapi ngomongnya dia itu bukan we are, we are currently having. Jadi disingkat. Mungkin lebih tepatnya bukan ini. Kita harus letakkan di sini apostrof dan r. We're. Okay? Good. Next one. Kita putar lagi ya.
difficulties with our new men's cosmetics line. These problems lie chiefly with our main bottle supplier, but we are also having trouble with distribution. I'd like to quickly identify the problems and then...
Can you spot that?
Trouble with distribution. I'd like to quickly identify the problems and then make some suggestions on how we can deal with the consequences.
Okay. I like to quickly, apa dia bilang tadi? Iya, betul ya, identify. Saya ingin dengan cepat mengidentifikasi the problems, katanya kan? And then make some suggestions on how we can apa? Lupa ya. Saya juga lupa nih. Let's rewind.
So, and then make some suggestions on how we can deal with the consequences.
Okay, dapat ya? And then make some suggestions on how we can deal with the consequences. Maksudnya deal nih apa nih? Nantilah ya cari artinya. Okay. Kita coba. I like to quickly identify the problems and then make some suggestions on how we can deal with the consequences. Jadi itu ya. Okay. Selanjutnya, bubble number 3. Apa nih? We've been trying to. Okay, putar lagi.
So, let's start with our bottle supplier then. We've been having serious difficulties with GSG, which is our main plastic bottle supplier, regarding both quantity and quality. We don't understand why, but they don't seem to be able to supply the quantities we order from them. In addition, the quality of the material is so poor that we've had to return about 40% of the bottles. We've been trying to cope with these problems.
Apa itu? Okay, dapat?
40% of the bottles. We've been trying to cope with these problems.
Okay. We've been trying to cope katanya ya. We've been trying to cope with this problem katanya. Ya kan? The delays, the poor quality all along, but so far we've not been able to find ways to apa? Putar lagi.
The delays, the poor quality all along. But so far, we've not been able to find ways to prevent them from happening again.
Iya. Jadi bilang apa? We've not been able to find ways to prevent ya. Prevent them from happening again. Gitu. Okay, next one. Okay.
It's clear we can no longer continue to accept these conditions.
It's clear we can no longer continue to accept ya, this condition. Oke ya. Kalau nggak tahu artinya ini di post videonya, you can find the meaning using Google Translate atau dictionary ya. Right. Next one. Nih, the last bubble.
Moreover, we're now getting ready for the Christmas season. If we don't solve our supply problems within the next 2 weeks, we'll run into serious trouble with respect to our Christmas business.
Apa tuh? Kita ulang lagi.
Our supply problems within the next 2 weeks, ready for the Christmas season, to accept these conditions. Moreover, we're now getting ready for the Christmas season. If we don't solve our supply problem,
Okay, if we don't solve our supply problem, supply problems within the next 2 weeks, we apa?
within the next 2 weeks, we'll run into serious trouble with
We'll run into serious trouble. We'll run into serious trouble. Jadi we'll run into serious trouble with respect to our Christmas business. Oke ya. Nah, artinya cari ya kalau yang nggak tahu. Kalau sudah tahu, alhamdulillah. Right. Nah ini ya dari bubble ini sudah di extract. Ya. So in explaining your main point of presentations itu, when you talk about difficult issue, you can use this, okay? This expression. Misalnya ini. I think we first need to identify the problem. Saya pikir kita awalnya butuh untuk mengidentifikasi masalahnya. Ya, identify itu mengidentifikasi atau mengenali, right? Okay, yang kedua we can use, of course, we'll have to clarify a few points before we start. Ya kan? Kita harus memperjelas dulu beberapa poin sebelum kita mulai. Bisa juga ya. Atau kita pakai ekspresi deal with. You will have to deal with the problem of increasing prices. Kita akan harus apa? Ya, deal with. Ini nggak bisa dipisah ya. Deal with ini artinya kita harus menyelesaikan. Kira-kira begitu ya. Menyelesaikan the problem of increasing prices. Nah, gimana cara menyelesaikannya? Ya. Walaupun mungkin lebih tepatnya kadang kita bisa artikan deal nih kan sebenarnya deal-dealan ya kan, nawar, negosiasi, tapi di sini artinya bukan menawar ya, lebih kepada cara menyelesaikan masalah tersebut. Okay, next one. How shall we cope with our unfair business practices? Ya, bagaimana harusnya kita sama cope with dan deal with hampir sama, intinya menyelesaikan ya unfair business practices, praktek bisnis yang tidak adil. Okay? Atau bisa juga kita bilang yang ini ekspresinya, the questions is why don't we tackle the distribution problems? Pertanyaannya adalah kenapa kita tidak tackle ini kayak main bola ya, tackle. Saya tackle dia, artinya diberhentikan. Wah, ya kan? Apa yang diberhentikan? Problemsnya. Jadi mirip lah artinya ya, tapi tidak pakai with kalau tackle. Atau ini, if we don't solve this problem now, we will get into serious trouble soon. Sama ya, kalau solve sudah tahu artinya ya. Terakhir adalah we will have to take care of this problem now. Take care of itu artinya sama ya dengan deal with. Mengurusi this problem now. Masalahnya sekarang. Masalah ini sekarang. Oke, kalau take care pakai of. Right. Nah, next one. Sometimes ya, in giving our presentation we relate one points to other points. Jadi bagaimana cara menggunakannya? Let's see this one. I like to mention some critical points in connection with payment. Kalau kita artikan dalam bahasa Indonesia, saya ingin menjelaskan atau menyebutkan beberapa poin kritis, poin penting, ya kan? In connection with artinya berhubungan dengan payment. Nah, ini jadi ekspresinya sama kalau bahasa Indonesia berhubungan dengan, oke? Atau kalau pakai concerning bisa juga. I'd like to mention some critical points concerning payment. Kalau concerning nggak pakai with lagi ya. Itu poin bedanya, oke? Atau ketika sudah gunakan ini kita bisa gunakan yang lain, ya. There are few problems regarding the quality. Ada beberapa masalah terkait kualitas. Regarding ini artinya terkait. Hampir mirip dengan kata in connection. Tapi kan kalau pakai in connection with terus concerning terus tanpa ada variasi, itu bisa jenuh presentasinya kan. Atau dengan meletakkan yang di depan, ke depan kita ubah ya, yang berhubungan dengan ini. Misalnya contohnya ini. With respect to prices, we need more details. With respect to prices, regard to prices, we need more details. Artinya apa nih? Berhubungan dengan harga, ya kan? Harga-harganya, mungkin kita jualan produk di sini, we need more details. Kita membutuhkan penjelasan lebih gitu lah, detailnya. Bisa dipilih salah satu atau terakhir ini according to survey. Berdasarkan survei, our customers are unhappy with this product. Ya, according to ini nggak boleh according to me. Namanya according ini kayak merujuk, berarti yang dirujuk harus layak untuk dijadikan rujukan. Survei misalnya, oke, profesor, expert. Jadi nggak pernah bilang according to me, oke? According to the survey atau according to misalnya our customers' voice. Our customers unhappy or they are unhappy with this product. Oke? Nah, ini bisa kita gunakan karena terkadang kita menggunakan itu. Atau ketika kita ingin menambah ide, or in our explanation we have explained one idea and we want to add more ideas. Kita bisa gunakan ekspresi ini. Contoh, in addition to this. In addition to this, I like to say that our IT business is going very well. Sebagai tambahan untuk ini, ya kan? I like to say, aku ingin mengatakan that our IT business is going very well. Bisnis IT kita sedang berjalan dengan baik. Mungkin dia sudah menjelaskan sesuatu yang sebelumnya. Apa misalnya ya? Dia menjelaskan tentang customer perspective misalnya ya. Right, contoh ya. Our customers are very happy. They really like our services. In addition to this, I like to say that our IT business is going very well too, misalnya. Ya, karena dia bisnis di bidang IT. Atau in addition ini bisa diganti dengan moreover atau furthermore. Ya, pakai as well as that bisa juga. Atau apart from. Kalau apart from dia disebutkan yang sebelumnya. Kalau ini kan enggak, ya kan? Nah, misal gini. Apart from being too expensive, this model is also too big. Ya. Apart from, ya, mungkin bahasa Indonesia terlepas dari, ya, misal kali mungkin ya, terlepas dari being too expensive, terlalu mahal. This model ini juga ya, selain dari, bukan terlepas, selain dari terlalu mahal, this model ini juga terlalu besar. Misal ya, oke? Misalnya apa nih? Apart being too long in distribution, misal ya, this solution is also heavy in price. Misalnya begitu ya. Atau terakhir bisa pakai plus. Kayak bahasa Indonesia ini mirip sebenarnya. To increase sales, we need a new strategy. Plus more people. And sama aja, more people. Mirip ya? Oke. Jadi ini bisa digunakan when giving our main part of presentation. Oke. Nah, ini untuk latihan sih sebenarnya. Oke, kita disuruh minta choose the correct verb to fit the sentence. Oke. Karena kata ini adalah kata-kata yang penting in giving presentation. Therefore, you have to know the meaning and how to use them. Contoh nomor 1. How are we going to solve deal tackle with delivery problems? Oke ya. Ada kata with, berarti apa nih? Iya, yang pas adalah deal. Karena solve dan tackle does not need these prepositions. Oke? Lagi. I don't think we can bla 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 with fewer people. Aku tidak berpikir kita dapat atau aku tidak yakin lah ya kira-kira ya kita dapat apa with fewer people. Ada with juga, oke. Pasangannya adalah cope. Ya. 3. We think it's important to apa? To deal, to cope. Kalau deal dan cope itu butuh with. Yang pas adalah identify the problems now, right? 4. Who will take care, deal, tackle, ada of nih, our business clients. Apa nih? Who will take care of. Itu aja sih. 5. We have been trying to, ada the software problem, nggak ada with ya. Berarti we've been trying to solve the software problem. Last one, before we go on, let's identify, clarify, solve this question. Yang mana yang pas nih? Ya. Before we go on, let's apa nih? Clarify this question. Yang pas ya, karena kalau dia solve biasanya problem. Alright. Identify juga problems. Oke. Nah, ini juga nih complete the sentence with the words from the box menggunakan ini tadi ya. According to, apart from, concern, moreover, regarding, with regard. Contoh nomor 1 aja lah. I'll give you an overview of some figures, bla bla bla, tukar ekspor. Apa yang pas? Apart from, concerns, moreover, regarding, with regard. Apa? Ya. Yang pas apa nih? Cari, kita coba ke atas. Saya juga agak lupa ini ya. Pakai to, apa yang pakai to? Iya, ini regard to. With respect to, okay. Jadi regarding to bisa ya. Okay, to car export atau with regard to ya, with regard to car export ya. With regard, okay. Yang pakai itu ini ya. Ada regard to, nggak ada regard ya. Mungkin yang pas di sini adalah ada to di situ ya. Nih regarding to kan. Sorry, regarding to car export. Silakan dilanjutkan dengan ngepaskan ke situ lalu dipraktis ya. Itu yang paling penting, right? Nah, terakhir ini, okay, sorry. So for our main point presentation techniques atau tips, kita menggunakan best shot, okay. Ini adalah urutan-urutannya. Imagine you have apa namanya, you have one slide. Ini udah main slide. Misalnya di sini ada slide ya. Anggap ini slide ya, even though it's not perfect. Oke, di sini ada judul slide kita. Apa misalnya judul slide kita? We talk about, let's say, coronavirus. Topik besarnya adalah di sini ya. Topik besarnya adalah tentang corona. Oke, it's not working. Oke. Corona topik ya. Ini topik besar. Main topiknya. Oke, ini main topiknya adalah corona virus. Ya. Lalu di sini ada slide 1 sudah misalnya ya, kita gunakan yang kemarin wise owl, oke. Lalu untuk introduction sudah masuk ke main part. Main part misalnya ini di slide 3, 4, 5. Ini enggaklah slide 3 misalnya slide 3. Sorry. Judul di slide 3 adalah misalnya tentang ya apa ya, cara, ways to avoid infection. Misal ya. Jadi cara untuk menghindari infeksi. Nah, kita berbicara tentang corona ini satu. Oke kan? Lalu in this slide we have points. Contoh ya. Points. Misalnya satu. For example number 1 ya. Sorry. Keep distance. Misal, keep distance. Okay. Misal ya. And then number 2, use standard mask. Misal. Number 3, yeah, get vaccine. Misal ya. Oke. Jadi kita bisa terapkan ini. Ya, pertama misalnya apa? Jadi apa yang akan kita lakukan pertama? Ya, pertama adalah oke. 1, B dulu ya. Nomor 1 kita pakai. Briefly state your topic again. Oke, jadi boleh disebut karena topiknya coronavirus. Oke. As you know that our topic today is coronavirus. Ya kan? Nah, oke. Lalu sudah kita kasihkan. Ya, kira-kira begitu, boleh ditambah lah. Lalu yang nomor 2, explain your objectives. Oke. Explain the objective. In this part of presentations or in this particular slide, I'm going to talk more about ways to avoid infections atau apa yang tadi ya. In this particular slide, yeah, let's take a closer look at the ways to avoid infection. Bisa ya? Itu yang di sebelum-sebelumnya. Berarti kita pakai 2. Oke. Lalu yang ketiga, signal the beginning of each point. Right. Let's talk about the first point, which is keep distance, ya kan? Atau kita juga bisa menggunakan nih signal the beginning of each part itu kan banyak tadi contohnya. Misal, oke, misal bisa untuk yang pertama, let's move on to the first point, ya kan? Keep distance, okay? If you don't want to get infection or you don't want to get infected by any person that is already infected, it is very important to keep distance for him or her. If you at least, it should be about 1 meters, because based on research that coronavirus it is going to be safe or safer if you talk to somebody who get infection, let's say, from 1 meters distance, because that virus is not going to be able to move or let's say jump from or within that 1 meters distance. Okay, sudah kan? Lalu kita mau masuk kedua, right? This leads me to my second point, that using that it is also essential for everybody, whether he or she is infected or not, to use standard mask. Jadi ketika menjelaskan this leads me directly to my second point, itu sebenarnya nomor 3, ya, signaling the beginning of each part. Begitu selanjutnya selesai nomor 2, jadi nomor 3 juga, ya kan, gini toh. Oke. Itu untuk setiap bagiannya. Lalu itu untuk antara ya di setiap ini ya, 1, 2, 3, signal the beginning of each part ya. Oke. Nah, lalu baru kita itu yang nomor 3 berarti sebelum masuk nomor 1, sebelum masuk nomor 2, sebelum masuk nomor 3. Dan di setiap nomor ini kan kita akan menjelaskan ya. Nah, itu berarti yang nomor 4 sebenarnya. Talk about the topic. Kan begitu ya. Ketika saya menjelaskan keep the distance ini apa? Yang tadi 1 meter within 1 meters akan sulit bagi that virus to move from one person to another person. Itu kan sebenarnya talking about your topic. Oke? Nah, jadi 1 2 3 4, ya kan? Lalu kalau dia ada awal, pastinya dia juga ada akhirnya toh. Oke. Akhirnya adalah signal the end of each part. Yang 5 ya. Maksudnya begini. Kita sudah nih 1 2, lalu kita masuk ke poin 1. This leads directly to my first point, which is to keep a distance. Oke. Kita bilang tentang nomor 4 ya. Ini berarti 3 ya. Lalu talk about the topic. It is really important to keep your distance from during this pandemic conditions from people whom you talk to, and the distance should be at least 1 meters, because according to research conducted by siapa misalnya experts or announced by WHO organization, that the safe distance to talk with somebody even though he or she is infected by virus is 1 meters, because within that distance the virus is not going to be able to transport from one person to another person, ya kan? Nah, misal. Nah, itu kan talking about the topic sebenarnya. Ya, 4 berarti kan. Lalu 5, kita akan bilang so much, kayak kemarin ya, so much talking about keeping distance. So much about keeping distance. Itu signal the end of each part. Lalu masuk lagi ke poin 2. Ya kan? Poin 2 apa poin 2? Ngulang lagi ya. Jadi karena ini ada 3 poin, 1 2 3 4 5, ngulang lagi dari, jadi begini ya. Nah, dari mana? Dari 3 lagi. 3 4 5. Untuk poin 2 ngulang lagi, ya kan? 3,4,5. Oke, atau jangan disuasi lah, 3 4,5. Ngulang lagi, ya kan? Masuk poin 3. 3,4,5 set. Oke. Selesai toh? Nah, baru terakhir karena sudah 3 poin dijelaskan, masuk ke 6. Highlight the main points. Ya kan? That's it. Okay, that's the way to avoid infection. That's the way to keep yourself safe, ya, from coronavirus. Misalnya begitu ya. Nah, lalu nomor 7. Masuk 7 apa 7? Outline the main ideas in bullet point form. Jelaskan, sebutkan saja, tidak dijelaskan. Kan sudah kita bilang tadi. Which can be done through 3 things. First, keep distance. Second, use standard mask. And third one, get vaccine. Ya kan? Oke. Sudah ya. Ini mirip summarize lah. So, let me summarize what I've talked so far, bisa juga di sini. Atau setelah selesai kan kadang kita punya slide baru kan. Ngulangnya kayak gini juga. Jadi urutannya gini. Misalnya kita ada slide selanjutnya ya, karena masih ada presentation dari slide selanjutnya, misalnya di sini. Nah, ini slide 1 lagi kan. Ya, kita bilang apa? Let's move on to the next point or next slide misalnya ya. Oke. Sudah selesai itu kita bilang, berarti kan kita masuk lagi ke nomor apa nih? 2 langsung di sini, 2 ya. Kenapa masuk ke nomor 2? Ya karena ini tadi objektif dari slide ini. 1 nggak usah lagi, ini di awal-awal masuk ke main gitu ya. Spread your objective. Right, in this part of presentation or in this slide, I'm going to talk more about apa? Ya misalnya kalau tadi tentang ways to avoid infection. Oke, di sini tentang apa misalnya ya? Ya. Treatment misal ya. When infected, kalau sudah terinfeksi apa treatmentnya? Misal, ya kan, 1 apa misalnya 1 ya isolation ya, independent isolation misalnya di rumah. Lalu yang kedua misalnya ya, apa ya, obat misalnya ya, drugs. Lalu yang ketiga misalnya healthy fruit. Nah, ini contoh saja ya. Nah, ketika kita masuk ke sini mulainya dari mana? Dari dua, ya kan? Signal explain your objective. Objective of this particular slide, right? Let's move on to the next slide. Masuk ke slide. Right, in this part of slide I'm going to explain about the treatment when you get infected. There are 3 things. Nah, 3 juga. Apa yang lakukan? Masuk, ya kan? 3, signal the beginning. Alright, the first one, independent isolation. Lalu talk about the topic. Tell them, what do you mean by independent isolations? It means you have to get yourself away from people, yeah? Or maybe you just stay in your home or in your room and stay there and don't go anywhere for around 14 days, okay? And then make sure that nobody get contact to you. It's especially direct contact, but you can still contact them via internet or other technology services to avoid further infections or to avoid the virus from your body to transport to other people, misalnya gitu ya. Lalu sudah kan? So much about independent isolations. Now let's move on to number 2, or let's talk about the second point, drugs. Nah, misalnya itu ya. Lalu sudah, ulang lagi terus sama kayak gini akhirnya ya. 2 3 4 5 2 3 4 5 2 sorry dari 3 ya. Sorry, bukan 2. 3 4 5. Oke, kalau yang nomor satunya sama ya, nomor satunya kita letakkan di sini. Tetap mulainya dari ketika baru masuk ke slide di atasnya, kita mulai dari nomor 2. Oke. Lalu masuk lagi nomor 3, oke. Masuk lagi nomor 4, oke. Lalu masuk nomor 5. Setelah itu mulainya kita dari 3. Nah, 3 karena sudah bilang setiap poin 3, 4, 5, ya kan? Lagi 3, 4, 4, 5. Ini ya, 3 4 5 ini urutan ini loh. Oke. Nah, setelah itu yang akhir nih sudah kan, poin 1, poin 2, poin 3 selesai. Jadi 3 4 5 1, 3 4 5 2, 3 4 5 3, ini ditambah 6. Nah, highlight the main point. Lalu 7. Oke. Sampailah di slide terakhir. Di slide terakhir baru kita pakai nomor 8. Tell listener you have reached the end of the main part. Misalnya ya. Semacam closing lah, ya. So that's all for treatment when my presentation misalnya ya, tentang main partnya sudah selesai, tinggal closing lagi seperti itu. Bisa kita bilang I think I have covered yang tadi ya, I have covered all about treatment when infected, atau I have covered, kalau ini ada judul besarnya lagi bisa juga I have covered all about phenomena of COVID, atau ini ya, coronavirus, karena topik besar coronavirus. I think I have covered all about coronavirus. Jadi sudah akan akhir ya. Boleh ditutup langsung, tapi kalau ada lagi misalnya tambahan conclusion boleh dilanjutkan. Ini fleksibel saja. Cuman teknik ini menggunakan best shot itu for particular presentation part, which is main part. Oke, karena introduction-nya sudah. Jadi itu ya. Okay. Alright. Nah, ini juga ada tips yang bisa dipelajari sendiri ya. Ini belajar tips. Baik. Jadi itu ya, untuk main part of presentation, apa yang harus dilakukan. Jadi kita sudah punya wise owl. Nah, yang selanjutnya ditambah dengan best shot. Right? Jadi ketika UTS nanti, ya inilah yang akan dipraktiskan. Okay. Alright. I think that's all from me. Yeah. Thank you very much, and don't forget to always consume good food if it is possible, buy more fresh fruit, so that if you are ill, you can get recovered soon. If you are not ill, your body is gonna be stronger with that more number of immunes, so that, let's say, influenza atau coronavirus are not gonna be able to attack you. Okay, so I'll see you again, inshallah, uh, after 5th of March ya, karena kita akan mulai kuliah lagi secara offline itu 6th of March. Itu saja mungkin. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.